What's up YouTube? It's Josh again, and I am super excited for this video because it is my college commitment video. I'll be revealing where I'll be committing to a college, and I am super excited to say this. I've been thinking about this for a really long time, and when it came time to commit, it actually only took me like 2 hours after talking to my parents about it to figure out what I want. And sometimes you just gotta say things out loud before you realize them, you know? So whenever my friends have been like struggling to pick where they've been deciding to commit, I've been trying to talk to them and like just tell them like, let your thoughts out and the school will basically pick itself for you. I also want to thank everyone for the support this channel has gotten and the support my videos have gotten, because I think that's absolutely insane. My friends from other states have been saying things like, oh my god, my friends saw your videos or something like that, and I thought that was just really funny to me, because I am literally only reacting to colleges, and I'm super excited to announce where I've been going and where I'll be going. Just finished up all my college trips. I am sorry I didn't film those because you're very busy at college admissions days. You don't really have time to film or vlog or anything, so I couldn't do that, but I'll be announcing where I'm going in a second. Also, there were a lot of things I had to figure out with this whole process, and like it was a lot of self-reflection, and I am so glad that it's over. I actually committed a few days ago, but I have been putting this video off because I just wanted to like let it sink in, let it just sink, let the fact that I'm going to college and going somewhere in the next 4 years sink in, and also making up all my makeup work that I missed because of college visits, and that was a lot of time. So without further ado, in 3, 2, 1. It's not USC. Actually though, in 3, 2, 1. I'll be committing to Dartmouth College in Hanover, New Hampshire. The screen is flipped because I am taking a video with my front-facing camera, but I'll be committing to Dartmouth. This is my dad's hat. This is my sweatshirt. So I'm really proud of picking a school, and I'm so excited because I absolutely love Dartmouth. And I'm going to say why I picked this school and how you can pick a school too, and just here's some advice on where to go. So after the whole college admissions process, I was accepted to a solid number of schools, and considering that I applied to so many, I honestly forgot which schools I got accepted to. So at the end of it all, I realized that I had 4 main options going into my final decision, and that was Vanderbilt, which I got a full tuition scholarship at, USC, which I also got a full tuition scholarship at, Brown, and Dartmouth. So the reason it came down to those 4 options was a combination of finances and because I love the schools. So with Vanderbilt, they gave me some thick cash. Like, a full tuition merit scholarship to a top 20 school is not something to laugh about. Or, I mean, not laugh about, like, not something to disregard. I didn't really like the school that much. Honestly, after I visited, I realized that I don't vibe well with Southern culture. And even though the school is very community-oriented and very inclusive, I think the diversity was still lacking there for me, and growing up in one of the most diverse, integrated cities in the country was a experience that I really loved having. And moving to somewhere that was definitely more on the conservative side, even though I'm not exactly like super far left liberal, I didn't really like, it bothered me so much that the school kept telling me things like, oh, the school's not conservative anymore. I'm like, why do you have to tell me that? I was kind of just bothered by that because it just showed that they hadn't made as much progress as they make it seem in like their newsletters and stuff. But it's a great school, amazing school. I respect it a lot, but it was just not up to my level in terms like up to my standards in terms of the diversity and political leanings for that school. I kind of just took that out of the equation. Well, I had 3 schools basically in consideration after that. USC, which I visited in February for a scholarship event. I absolutely loved it. I ended up getting the full tuition scholarship, which you probably saw from my reactions, and honestly, I thought I was going to go there. I absolutely thought I was going to go there going into Ivy Day. I thought there was no point to opening these decisions. I'm going to USC, but then Brown and Dartmouth came out, and financial aid wasn't bad. Like, we appealed, got some more money, and that was really cool. So they were actually options that were doable for me, and it had been my lifelong dream to go to the East Coast and experience a totally different kind of culture than I'd grown up with. So with Brown was my dream school growing up. I absolutely loved everything about it. I was just head over heels for so long that my enthusiasm for the school kind of waned because I was just in love with it for so long. I loved the open curriculum. I loved how everything was so exploratory. And yeah, that was why I still wanted to consider it. With Dartmouth was just so absolutely wild and different for everything that I wanted, or from everything that I thought I wanted. And I thought I could really grow and develop as a person at that school, and I think it's ultimately what led me to my decision. So I visited Brown and Dartmouth in the same weekend, Dartmouth first. So after that admit weekend, I honestly didn't feel that, it didn't sit super comfortably with me, and I think that was because I didn't really vibe as well with the students there at first, because I don't know, it was just I was tired. I had a flight that got in at 3 a.m. that morning. I was just not having it. Even though Dartmouth is very isolated as a campus, it's big enough that I can find my people, and I know I can adapt anywhere, and I think that's something I had to keep in mind in the decision process, because during the admit weekend, I met some people that I didn't really vibe with, that weren't my type of people, you know? But then I sat in on a lecture by the head of the classics department, which is one of the potential majors that I want to explore, and it was inspiring. It was a turning point for me, and oh my god, it was so just... I'm still thinking about it, because then the next day I set up a meeting with him to talk to him about opportunities within the department, and I was sold. I knew it was a place I shouldn't have discounted so much, and Hanover itself was just such a cute little town, and the community around it was just so nice. There were some things I did there that just changed my outlook on the school, you know? One of them was I and a small group of other guys decided to try and check out the river, and this was leading up to my my meeting with the classics professor. So we tried to find the river, and then we just kind of got lost and went down different paths that we went down this really steep path, and there was no seeming end to it, and it was just so pretty. I was walking around the trees, and I'm like, damn, I could be a nature hoe for a little bit. They had a little show for admitted students, and one of the things they did was students from the upper classes would come up and just say why they picked Dartmouth, how comfortable they felt, how they fit in with the community, and it changed a lot of my outlook towards it. So I thought that was really amazing, and at the end of it I was like, I'm actually kind of lost where I'm gonna go. So then I went to Brown after that, and Brown was a hoot. That was a fun time. I absolutely loved Brown too. Brown and Dartmouth are actually very similar in terms of academic structure. Dartmouth is very flexible with its class selection, and that was a plus to me, because that was something I saw in Brown that I really loved growing up, and I didn't realize Dartmouth had that. So when I went to Brown, I still didn't know where I was going to college at that point, and I met up with a friend that I met from my involvement in Junior Classical League, and we hung out for the weekend, and like I met up with another friend and went to her class, and just it was so fun and it felt right. Like it really did feel right at Brown. So when it came down to the final decision, I was looking at 3 schools that I all loved for different reasons. Like USC to me felt like home. It had the cash, first of all. It just felt like home. It was in the city, which I liked. It had all the resources. It had everything that I wanted to do. And I thought I was so ready to commit to USC. Dartmouth, on the other hand, had all the academics that I wanted and a totally different experience that I could never have any other time in my life. It was just such a different thing that I could be part of. And Brown was just the happy medium between those two. I loved Providence as a city. There was some really good food there. Brown was really nice. I absolutely loved the people there. There was a period of time at 2 a.m. in the middle of the hall where I was just talking to other prospective students and another classics major, which was so wild to me because she also knew other people that I knew because she went to boarding school with them, and like, oh my gosh, it was a fun time. I looked at my 3 options and I was like, number 1, USC. I would not grow as a person from USC. It was exactly like home. I live in a big city already that is on the West Coast and pretty diverse, and like USC was just the same kind of culture and the same kind of people and the same kind of emphasis, and like I wouldn't have any new experiences there. And I realized how much I wanted to be on the East Coast. USC quickly fell to the bottom of my list despite it being like my top choice for so long. Like it would have been so great to help my family with finances and stuff like that, but I was trying to force myself to want a school that I honestly didn't want that much. I realized I really wanted to be on the East Coast, so I looked at Dartmouth and Brown. Both were really good choices. I'm still so like happy that I had them to pick from. Brown's financial situation was a lot more messy than Dartmouth. I guess like my dad explained it to me weirdly, but I don't remember how. And basically like I kind of had to take Brown off. I'm really not upset at that. Honestly, at the end of it all, if I had to, like, if finances weren't a problem, I probably would have really considered Dartmouth, and it would have been like 50-50 between Brown and Dartmouth. Finances pushed me towards Dartmouth, and I'm so excited for that, and I'm so thankful for that. Brown was a nice place, but Dartmouth was a new and nice place. Like, Brown was in Providence, which is a little city, but also a big city, which is how they describe it, and Dartmouth is in the middle of nowhere. I had a family friend who was my neighbor and one of the last few kids from Vegas to have gone to Dartmouth. And he was texting me the whole time that I was there, and we were texting beforehand, and he was telling me all these things that I loved about the school. He was really into it, and it just, like, it made me realize that sometimes it's nice to look up and see stars. You know, like, a lot of people won't understand what I'm saying, but, like, it's nice to be in the middle of nowhere and have that experience. I live in the most light-polluted city in the world. I can't see anything in the sky except the moon sometimes. And to be somewhere that's just so isolated and so community-oriented and just have a new experience where I can try new things, that, like, being part of the outing club was just something that was always in the back of my mind. Like, even when I thought I liked Brown more, I kept thinking about Dartmouth. and I kept thinking about how cool it would be to live there. And I am so proud of my decision. So Dartmouth 2022, go Big Green, go Kegs, I guess. And I'm gonna be a 22 at Dartmouth. So thank you for watching this video. I hoped it helped you have a little bit of clarity into my thought process, and maybe even helped you pick a school. I'll do another video on why I chose to apply to Dartmouth in the future, but coming up soon is my stats video. My stats and extracurriculars. How does one get into the Ivy League? And that's what I'm going to be talking about in my next video. So I'm super excited for these next 4 years, and I have not stopped thinking about it. Like, I'm so ready to be a New England, like, East Coast kid. I'm going to, like, in my heart, I'm this preppy kid who thinks he came from old money even though I'm not rich at all. And I'm so excited to just, like, see the side of my personality that hasn't really developed as much in living where I have been, and to be somewhere that's just so different and so new, and be surrounded by professors who I absolutely adore, and a community that's just so supportive, and like, I'm just so excited for everything. I'm so absolutely excited. So if you're also going to Dartmouth, comment down below. I am super excited to meet you. So signing off, and see you in my next video. Please subscribe, like, comment down below, and that was in the wrong order. So yeah.